All right, for people viewing, this is my grandma. And let's see, would you please state your name for the viewers?
Alice Karen Sandberg Bennett.
All right, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I was born in Hurricane, Utah, to two great parents, Garth Sandberg and Donna Rever, and I had three brothers and two sisters. One of my brothers has passed away, and also one of my sisters. And we had good parents who loved us and took good care of us. We lived in a little small town. No TV.
Oh dear.
And no cell phones.
Yeah.
It was just a little farming community where the boys would basically do most of the work outside, the girls would do the work inside. And we always had 3 meals together, which we don't very often have now. And I went to Hurricane High School, and also a little elementary school, which are both have been torn down now.
What would you say is one of your greatest talents?
I think being able to forgive people,
Mm-hmm.
and I like music. I'm not especially talented in it. I just like it.
Right. Yeah.
And
All right. Well.
I like to bake.
Oh yeah, you're good at that. I would say that's one of your talents.
I do sewing too.
Yes. Really well, actually. Okay, so why don't you tell us about your siblings and your parents? What are their talents and what has amazed you with them?
I really have quite a loving family. I have a brother that lives up in, actually 2 brothers live up in West Jordan. And one is, he's a doctorate in chemical engineering, and I think that's what it is. And one went into, was a electrical engineer. And I have a sister that lives in Hurricane. Like I said, the other 2 have passed away. What should I say?
Your parents?
Both of them have passed away, but my mom and dad were very musical.
Mm-hmm.
They met because my mom accompanied him, my dad, while he sang, and he played the banjo and I think a trumpet, and later on he learned to play the saxophone. And he loved to have my mom play for him while he sang. And they had a little dance band at one time. And my mother gave piano lessons, and she played for everybody in town.
So you just had a really musical family?
Huh?
You had a really musical family?
My mom and dad were musical. But the rest of the family didn't learn that much in music. I mean, I took lessons from her, but my other siblings didn't really learn to play that well.
Right. All right, so what has been your fondest memory, do you think?
Well, I think it was when I met my husband. I was going to Dixie College, and I was in the library, and there wasn't anybody in there but me. I was just studying in there, and him and Jim Crookston walked in, because Jim Crookston was showing the new library.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought he was really cute. He looked at me, and we both smiled and never said a word.
That's cute.
But he asked me for the sweetheart's dance after that. That was our first date.
Well, that's fun. Who in your life has made the biggest impact on you and who you are today, and how?
Probably my parents, because my dad was always really good at paying tithing, and that's always been important to me, and he was always one that I could talk to when I needed someone to talk to, because my mom was always busy giving piano lessons.
Mm-hmm.
But she taught me how to sew and to cook, and just she just was a very generous person. Everybody loved her. So I think those two really made the most impact.
That's really cool because not very many people can say that these days with parents splitting up and all the disaster with that. So that's really cool. What would you say is the definition of American dream?
It's being able to go after that dream, to be able to go to school and do what you want to do, and then be able to get a job after you get out of school. Today, a lot of kids can't get the job, and they need to have more people working and having a good paying job so people can enjoy life more and not be taxed so much. And I think they just need to live the lives that they want to live.
That is very true. I think I would have to agree with you. But by that definition, do you think you're currently living the American dream?
Well, for me, it probably is, because my husband's retired, and so far we haven't been affected too much by the economy, and we can pretty much do what we want. It's just our health that, is the problems, and right now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I wanted to be a mother, a stay-at-home mom, and my husband did his job best to let me do that. We weren't poor. We were poor in certain times of our life, but we did not give up that thing that we wanted, was to have our children taken care of by one of us.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was basically the one mostly that did that, because he had to do the providing for our family. He was in National Guard, and he was a teacher, which neither one of those gave very much money,
Right, yeah.
And we kept going back to school, so that kept us poor. But when he got through, he was a principal and then an administrator, so then we got a good retirement, which really paid off. So it's good to go and get an education. In the long run, it will help you.
That is so true. What do you think about the direction of our country? Do you believe it is in a state of corruption or advancement?
Well, it's a little bit of both. The government is definitely corrupt. And the advancements come with all the new inventions. We never had, our biggest invention was the electric typewriter, which I wasn't good at. But the TV has been a big help, because, it lets us have conference twice a year and see good things. There are good and bad on the TV, though.
Yeah, along with cell phones, because they keep our families in touch. However,
yeah, everything can be used for good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing that we have to really watch, is make sure that we use all these inventions for good things.
I agree. So what would you consider a really good advancement America has made since you were a child?
Well, I think in communication and travel.
Definitely.
Planes can go faster, and through internet you can really do a lot of things.
Emails, other things like that.
Yeah, and mothers can keep track of their kids, because they each have a cell phone, which we didn't have, and that would have been really nice to have had back then.
If you had the opportunity to speak with President Obama, what would you tell him, and what would your questions be for him?
I would ask him why he's doing what he's doing, because I think he kills business. Most regulations he puts on really hurt business. And I think he wants us to be poor. I think he wants big government, which isn't good for us. We need to ask him why he can't have delegate some of those things like education to the states, which would do a better job. I feel like the states would do a lot better job than a lot of the things that the government can do. And need to do away with Obamacare, which he loves. So
Yeah.
I'd have to ask him why he thinks that's so wonderful, because no one even knows hardly what's in it.
Right.
So it's just it's a real big pain to everybody in the United States. It's just not a good thing.
I would say probably a lot of people would agree with that, but I guess not everyone, clearly, because he's
Like Obama.
I don't know, but all right. And lastly, how would you describe your life in one word, and why would you say that?
I'd say it's a good life. Well, just say good, I guess, because we're not touched so much as some of the people are with what's going on.
Right. Got a roof over your head and a good family.
Yeah, and we have the church, and we have a living prophet. I think we're really blessed.
I would say so as well.
And we have great grandchildren.
Thank you.
And great.
All right. Well, thank you. That's all I needed.
Okay.
Thank you.